He's a seasoned mortgage professional with TMG, the Mortgage Group, and Mortgage Professionals Canada, and has a strong passion for consumer advocacy and the love of hockey. I'm honored to welcome Mark Kerzner of TMG, the Mortgage Group, and Mortgage Professionals Canada on Small Talk. Mark Kerzner of TMG, the Mortgage Group, and past chair of Mortgage Professionals Canada, welcome to Small Talk.
Javed, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Mark, it's a pleasure to have you on our show. And I wanted to ask you, Mark, you are the past chair of Mortgage Professionals Canada, a national organization. And I note through social media and in multiple areas and facets of the World Wide Web, you are doing a lot of advocacy work on behalf of the mortgage professionals and the mortgage industry. I'd like for you to share with us some of the top key things our audiences should be aware of that are coming down the pipe or are currently happening that we're just not aware of.
Yeah, I appreciate the question, Javed. Actually, so many people out there notice the headlines in the media. Every day it seems that there's another announcement impacting buyers, impacting people's ability to finance their homes. And it's really been our job front and center since the changes came into effect about a year ago to advocate for consumers with government. There's been so many changes that impact first-time home buyers. There's been changes that impact people who are looking to refinance, which means to take money out of their existing properties. Choices are being restricted, costs are going up for consumers, and so our job is really to speak to politicians, to policy advisors, and let them know what the impact of these changes are having on the marketplace and ultimately on Canadians.
And Mark, from your perspective, why are all these changes happening now? Is there something happening in the industry that we as consumers aren't aware of, or is there something that the government is picking up that, again, we as consumers aren't aware of, but certainly you are because you've been advocating for this quite some time?
Yeah, you know what? It's a bit of a tricky question, and here's why. When the global financial crisis started 10 years ago, Canada fared better through that crisis than all the other G7, G8 nations. Our housing market remained strong, our economy remained relatively strong, and our employment, relatively speaking, also remained really, really strong. What we saw happening in the past couple of years is a really fast appreciating housing market in certain cities. And we know those cities are Toronto and Vancouver. Right. And people in government really started to worry about the potential of overvaluation. And they also started to worry about the fact that interest rates are so low right now. What happens when interest rates start to climb just a little bit? Are people going to be able to continue to make their payments? So they have some very valid concerns. But at the end of the day, we think that the housing markets are going to remain strong. We think Canadians are very responsible borrowers. And what we're worried about is not having additional regulations put in place, but to the extent to which these additional regulations have come into place over the last year and what the impact may be, not just in the Toronto and Vancouver markets, but in all other markets across the country as well.
Amazing. Now, you are the past chair for Mortgage Professionals Canada, so you've got some sort of day job, as they say, and so you are you're the president of TMG, the Mortgage Group. And just briefly, real quick, tell us a little bit about that organization that you're the leader of.
Well, TMG, the Mortgage Group, is a national mortgage brokerage company. And we've got hundreds of mortgage brokers and agents that work with us to serve Canadians, much in the same way that I was talking about before. And from an association perspective, our association is an association of mortgage brokers, lenders, insurers, suppliers. It's really an industry association. Our belief at TMG, our belief in the industry is really that a broker is the person who's ideally suited to talk to you, to talk to Canadian consumers about their mortgage financing needs. If you think about any industry, Javed, when you have choice and options, and that's really what a broker is able to present in a very educated and informed manner, the consumer is the one who ultimately benefits at the end of the day. If you walk in to the branch that you've always dealt with and deal with the same people that you've always dealt with, and you're not shopping for the options that are available to you, you may not be getting the best mortgage rate, but ultimately you may not be getting the best mortgage product for your needs either.
Amazing. Mark Kerzner, thank you so much. Past chair for the Mortgage Professionals of Canada and also the president of TMG, the mortgage group. Mark, his information is right there on the screen. If you've got further questions or inquiries, you want to continue this conversation with Mark, please feel free to send him an email or give him a call. Mark, thank you so much for being on Small Talk.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you to Mark Kerzner of TMG, the mortgage group, and past chair of Mortgage Professionals Canada for joining me on Small Talk. Now it's your turn. Leave your comments, subscribe, and share. Now, if you've got a topic you'd like to discuss on the show, please give me a call or send me an email. We'll talk with you next time.